Hey folks, Eric Bray, Focus Fishing Guide Service. Got another video fishing report for you for Table Rock Lake. It's Taneycomo behind me. Just got done doing a trout trip with a family from Nebraska. We had a good time. I don't know how many we caught, 40, 50, something like that. But trout are biting. If you guys want to go trout fishing, the trout are definitely biting down here in Taneycomo. But been on the water, pretty much every day this week. Did go up to Palm de Terre to fish the Web Outdoors event this past weekend. Had a decent first day and then kind of swang for the fences the second day, and it just didn't pan out. Didn't find the big fish I was looking for, and wound up, I don't know, 20 something. Congratulations to Pete Winters. He definitely had him figured out. He had 16 pounds first day and I think 14 the second, which pretty much blew the field away. But anyway, coming back to Table Rock. Fished there yesterday. Going to fish all the rest of the week over on Table Rock. And the bite is good, but it is changing. It's definitely changing. As far as our lake level is concerned, we're looking at 925.95, which with the new summer pool puts us pretty much right at 9 feet high. They are releasing water just through the turbines now. They've shut all the gates down, so only releasing about 10 to 11,000 cubic feet per second. Still a lot of water coming through the dam and a lot of current, but not nearly as much as it was basically the entire month of May. So they are still releasing water, but it's not nearly as much as it was. And they are bringing the water level down. Even with the rain we had over the weekend, it bumped up a few inches, but it's coming right back down again. Water temperature has warmed up quite a bit. We are right around 77 to 80 degrees pretty much all over the lake. Noticed on the dam area yesterday that we were at about 78. So it has warmed up quite a bit. Still got quite a bit of stain to it. But that should settle down with them shutting the gates and slowing down the current. It should settle some of that dirty, nasty, stained water out, and it should clear up like it normally does this time of year. If you guys are coming down, say you're going to fish the lower end of the lake, still got a decent shallow bite, but the fish are definitely moving deeper. Still catching quite a few on a jewel net head. Gravel points, 15 to 20 feet deep. Just basically dragging it out there fairly deep. Most of those fish are going to be smallmouth. Catching a few on the jewel squirrel head as well. Same sort of pattern, 15 to 20, even as deep as 25 feet deep. Basically looking at gravel points, main lake, secondaries, those sort of things. Catching a lot of fish on those. And then a jewel football jig really started to shine. With these fish moving deeper, we're starting to catch some better smallmouth and some better largemouth on a jewel football jig, 18 to about 30 feet deep. So those fish are out a little bit deeper, using either the 1/2 ounce or the 5/8 ounce jewel football jig, matching it up with a speed craw. Some guys are matching it up with as big as a full-size brush hog. I've been doing better with a speed craw. Color, Okeechobee blue, green pumpkin candy, peanut butter and jelly. The typical Table Rock colors are working pretty well, and then green pumpkin on your trailer. No matter what you decide to use as a trailer, green pumpkin's definitely been the best color there. The other bite that's just now starting, it's actually starting to pick up more and more every day with the water warming up, is the deep bite. We are starting to catch them on a drop shot rig. Most of them on those same gravel points, anywhere from about 25 to 35 feet deep. Got to look for those fish on your graph, drop your bait down to them, and what will happen, we talk about this every year, you'll get one to bite it and then the bottom will explode and you'll have a bunch of fish come up, and then you can stay on top of those fish and usually catch 3 or 4 of them before the school breaks up. Have been catching a few suspended as well, but the better bite seems to be on those long gravel runouts, long gravel points, not so many suspended around the wave breaks and the back in the trees yet. That'll come as the water warms up more and the shad move back into those creeks a little bit more, especially when they let the water slow down a little bit and they quit releasing so much water. It allows those shad to move back into the creeks, and we'll start to see them in the trees a lot more. Top water bite's really not been that great. Haven't caught that many on a top water. Talking to a couple of the other guides, it seems like you can catch some whites on it if you are lucky enough to have the whites blow up around you, but not a lot of bass coming on top water right now. Go to the Kimberley City area and the same bites are working. Doing well with the jewel net head, matching that up with a TRD, a half a Senko, whatever you like to throw. All those baits are working on the jewel net head. Again, gravel points anywhere from about 12 to 20 feet deep. jewel squirrelhead, matching that up with a speed craw or a UV whisker beaver. Same deal, 12 to 18 to 20, 25 feet deep on that. Jewel football jig's working really well. Gravel points, gravel roll-offs. They are a little bit deeper on the football jig. We are targeting a little bit bigger fish, so doing a little bit better out there, about 15 to 25 feet deep. And again, color really doesn't seem to make that big of a difference. The typical table rock colors seem to be the best. The Okeechobee blues, the green pumpkin candies, and the peanut butter and jelly matched up with a green pumpkin speed craw, green pumpkin beaver, or even a green pumpkin brush hog. All those are working. Drop shot bite is working there as well. Again, it seems like the gravel runouts are a little bit better out there, 28 to about 35 and even 40 feet deep. And doing well with a UV worm, the finesse worm or the blood worm. Doing well with the shad-shaped worm from Yamamoto. And basically, again, you're looking for 1 or 2 fish on the bottom. When you do hook one, though, the bottom will explode and you'll have a lot of fish come up. And as the water temperature rises and as they slow the current down, that bite's going to become more and more dominant throughout the entire lake. Again, not much of a topwater bite. Really not much of a topwater bite going on at all over the lake, but even in Kimberling City, not really catching that many on topwater. You can get a few blow-ups, you can get a few fish to chase, but we're just not catching those topwater fish like we normally do this time of year. James River has got a really good flipping bite, probably the best flipping bite on the lake. Even with them pulling the water down, it has slowed down enough that some of the better fish have started to move back into those bushes, back into the trees. You want to flip the shady sides of the bushes and primarily on points. Target those bushes on points, right on the point and on either side of it seems to be best. Doing well flipping a jewel spider jig. Green pumpkin candy has been really good, or Okeechobee blue's been good. A little bit further up where the water might have a little bit more stain to it, go with like a Missouri craw, something with a little bit, or even a table rock secret, something with a little bit of chartreuse or a brighter color on it, and match that up with a speed craw as well. So those baits are working good. Decent deep bite, but really the James isn't known for its deep bite until things really start to warm up, and you're really talking the mid to lower James on that. Have been catching a few on a drop shot rig out there. Shad-shaped worm, UV blood worm have been the 2 best baits on that. And again, seems like we're catching more on the gravel runouts than we are necessarily around the docks or around the trees. That bite will improve as they shut the water down and as the shad get moved back into those areas. White River, fish however you want to fish on the White River, to be honest with you. If you want to fish fairly shallow, throw that jewel net head. Catching a lot of fish on that net head, on those gravel runouts, gravel points, either on the main lake or back into the creeks. They are a little bit deeper than they have been, more 15 to 25 foot deep. Doing well with the spider jig as well. Doing well with the squirrel head too. Fishing that with either a UV beaver, whisker beaver on it, or with a speed craw on it, and the jewel 5/16 ounce spider jig's been doing really well as well, and matching that up with a speed craw. It's typical colors: Okeechobee blue, green pumpkin candy, and Missouri craw's actually been pretty good when you get into some of the dirtier water there by the Kings. But a lot of fish coming right on the bottom, anywhere from about 15 to 25 foot deep. Haven't thrown the football jig up there as much as we have done on the lower end. I have a feeling it'll work just as well out there a little bit deeper on those runouts and on those roll-offs. Especially you look at a point like point 16 where you've got a flat side and it drops off real hard on the other side. That would be a key spot to go throw a football jig, anywhere from about 20 to 30 feet deep. Jewel half ounce, 5/8 ounce, whichever one you prefer, matched up with a speed craw or a brush hog or a baby brush hog. Again, colors are pretty typical: green pumpkin candy, watermelon candy, that sort of thing. And then the deep bite. The deep bite's on up there too. The fish are moving. I mean, it's the water's warm, so they're getting into a summer pattern all over the lake. Drop shot's been strong. Haven't caught that many on a spoon yet, but I'm sure the spoon bite will start to pick up once the shad kind of get more situated and more stabilized. But using the UV blood worm on the drop shot, using the shad-shaped worm on the drop shot, and the dream shot on the drop shot, all those are working really well. Anywhere on the bottom on those gravel runouts, anywhere from about 25, 28 feet all the way out to about 40 feet deep. And again, you got to move around a lot. You got to find those 1 or 2 fish that are up off the bottom. Once you get one of those to bite, you'll get the school active and you'll really start to catch a lot of fish doing that. Guys, it is June already, which is hard to believe. Seems like we were just in March, but it's June. Weather's beautiful. It's gonna be a great week this week. Highs in the upper 70s, low 80s. Sunny. Finally, a week that looks like we're not gonna have any rain to speak of. It's been a while, which is kind of odd for June, but fish are biting, catching a lot of fish, having a good time. And I mean, if you guys are thinking about coming down, June's pretty full, but I do have some open dates towards the end of the month. Got some afternoons open if you guys want to go trout fishing. The trout are biting like absolutely like trained pigs, but got a lot of dates open in July. So if you're thinking about making a trip, maybe you're making a trip, don't wait till you get here to give me a call. I've had a lot of people do that in this past month, and I haven't been able to get to them. Usually can find them another guide to take them out, but I haven't been able to go out with them, and some of them have been actually fairly disappointed. So if you want me to take you out, make sure you call me early. Real liberal on our deposit policy. If something comes up, more than happy to refund your deposit if something happens. But if you guys are thinking about coming in July or August, now's the time to call. Now's the time to get something booked. You can want to hire a guide, just get a hold of me. It's Focus Fishing Guide Service. You can reach me at 417-860-4743. Hit my website, focusfishing.com. Shoot me an email or book online. Either way, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But let's get hooked up if you guys are thinking about coming down. Don't wait till the last minute to do it. But get a hold of me. We'll go out. We'll go fishing. We'll have a good time. We'll catch a bunch of fish. Really can't wait to hear from you guys. I really appreciate you watching. I get a lot of comments, people saying, yeah, I watch your videos all the time, and I appreciate everybody that's subscribed. Thanks for doing that. But thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the water.